Craig here from bitsbox.co.uk. In this video I'm going to look at the Horus Heresy, Book 4. This is Conquest. This is the limited edition, which comes in this slipcase. I'll open that up. So we have the book itself. We also have a large poster which has the front image on one side and then a few Imperial notes on the other side. I'll put that to one side. We have these quite nice reference sheets. Nice quality glossy card there. They're all just reference sheets for weapons and special rules. So we move on to the book itself. Just like the other books, it's really nice leather, like silver edges. So we open it up, some artwork. Here, not even artwork, sorry, it's just pictures of models that have been heavily photoshopped. This is a theme in Forgeworld books. Horus Heresy, Book 4, Conquest. A massive table full of contents. There really is so much in this book. Then we have Mortarion off the Death Guard. And of course we have to have the map. So with most of these books they all start off with some fluff. And there's plenty of photos of miniatures. Some lovely photoshopping around them. Which I really like in the Forgeworld books over the GW books. Nice art piece of Horus. And of course some more fluff. And again, there's more fluff here. I haven't read through any of the fluff in this book yet, so I haven't had it very long. There's some here about the Death Guard, and some nice artwork of Mortarion. There's a section here. The Maniachian War, I guess that's pronounced. I may have pronounced that terribly. I really like this piece here. Well, made it look like you're looking through like a screen or a visor or something. It's quite cool. And even here's really nice with planets and all the effects on that. They really make the miniatures look really dynamic. Actually look like the battles are sort of going on. Some of the solar Auxilia models, which have their army list later in this book. There's some more here, with Horus himself in the middle, and some Black Legion. Or Sons of Horus as they would have been then, of course. And there's a bit here about the Dark Mechanicum, and you got the Archmagos Dracovac. Really cool. I wish his helmet was more pointy like that on the miniature. It just looks a bit squished on the actual miniature compared to this. I think I haven't actually seen a miniature in person, just photos, so I may be wrong there. And plenty of fluff here about Dark Mechanicus and their involvement. So in this section there's a principal world for the Coronid Deeps, I should say. And some more Solar Auxilia. There's a bit of artwork there. Castellix Battle Automator. Now we go into the Solar Auxilia. This is their army list. We'll start off with some fluff. And some nice artwork. And showing you different colour schemes as well. And then you've got all different heraldry and markings here. It's really nice. I hope that Forgeworld will put out a transfer sheet for all these different symbols because they look pretty cool. Some more fluff here about the Imperial Knights. Some nice artwork here. And then some fluff about different houses. So this one, sorry, was the House Maccabeus. And you got their colour scheme there. Some more nice artwork. We have the House Vironi. And there's some fluff about them. Some nice artwork. I really like the green and white, their colour scheme. And there's the House Orlac. These are purple and black. And the House Erfagan, which I've probably just pronounced completely wrong. I do actually really like their colour scheme as well, and I like the symbol. Move on to Legio Tempestus. And some fluff there and some Titans here. And then some bit about the Traitor Legions and the Dark Mechanicum and Traitor Auxilia as well. Then we have some Sons of Horus. Then we've got different markings and heraldry from Sons of Horus, and we also have some for the Death Guard. Then we have some more Death Guard here. There's a little bit about the Loyalists. Here's some Iron Hands. There's an Imperial Fist, Terminator Sergeant, and an Iron Hands Dreadnought. The actual legions themselves aren't represented a lot in this book, and it's mainly about the Solar Auxilia and the Imperial Knights. But there's a little bit here about the legions. There are some salamanders as well. So now we go to the battles in the Age of Darkness. And there's a Conquest campaign system, so there's all different rules for fighting campaigns. Again, there's some more rules. Yeah, these rules can be used in regular 40k if you wanted to as well. All different stuff about different types of terrain and buildings on Battlefield to make games a bit more unique and dynamic. I wouldn't mind trying out some myself. Then there's strategic warlord traits, and then all the Primarchs are here. Tells you which of the warlord traits they can take, or how many they may randomly generate. So now we have strategic raid missions, which you can use as part of the campaign. And we have force organisation charts and deployment maps, which are very different to what we're used to. And there's all different special rules. And here, there's another mission. Different rules. Again. And again, another mission you can do. It's called Combat Extraction. And we have a couple more here called Forlorn Hope and Headhunting. So all the rules are here for different types of missions you want to use. And then the final mission here is called The Hunters at Bay. As always, I won't go into rules in any detail. And just as a page filler, really, we have an Imperial Fist Tactical Support Sergeant. So now we have some city fight rules to use for the Horus Heresy. Again, there's force organisation charts and deployment maps. A little bit about terrain on that side. And then we have some missions for city fights. So there's Crucial Ground, Judgment of Battle, and Purge by Fire. This one's called Vital Prize. We have Fortress of Blood. And lastly, the Death Throes. And then we move into some optional rules here called the Wreckage of War. So there's all different types of wreckage, like mysterious wreckage you can come across in battle. And there's a table here you can roll on to see what it is. But again, makes games a little bit more dynamic. So we have some optional special rules for running a campaign. And here you have called Lines of Attack. It's all about making different warzone maps. And you have priority targets. This one's called Blood and Steel, which that affects how reserves work. We've got character advancement, which is quite cool. I'm sure a lot of people will use that in their campaigns. We have hidden campaign objectives. And over here there's some in-depth rules about character progression, tables you can roll on to increase stats and stuff like that. And here's like a maximum stat line for each type of unit. You can take them for progression. Sorry. So, like for example, a Legionist Astartes can only go up to weapon skill 7, ballistic 5, strength, toughness 5, 3 wounds, initiative 6, 4 attacks, and leadership 10. And there's different tables over here, can give you little abilities. There's a casualty survival table, so if your character does die, a table you can roll on. There's all different modifiers to it. Then we go into missions. There's a liberation mission. A little bit here about relics as well. And then you've got Legion specific relics as well, so each Legion will have their own relic they can choose. There's a relic hunt mission. And there's a bit here I'll just go through an example campaign. So it just runs all through how to do a campaign, how the games work. It's quite cool. There's another one here with These are slightly different rules. And there's a third example as well. So if you do plan on using a campaign edge book, these are well worth having a read through. So now we move on to the solo Auxilia army list. I may have said earlier that we're getting to it, but this is where it is. So we have their force org table. There's a bit here about Lords of War. I don't know why there's no restrictions in regular 40k, because I quite like the 25% rule for Lord of War. There's a bit about how to use the army list, and it's got some special rules for them. We have their warlord traits, and then we have war gear. Again, I'm not going to go into any rules in any detail. But loads of war gear and rules. There's even an allies chart. It's been updated to include them, and the mechanicum as well. And just some rules for weapons. So now move into the main list. So they're very similar just to regular guard armies that you might see from Forgeworld. Obviously they're not exactly the same, but some of the basics are still there. You have your tank commander, and command squads. Got a Medicaid detachment. Basically like an apothecary detachment that you might be familiar with from the Legion list. They have a rapier battery as well. Got the engine sears and Ogrins as well. So this is your infantry section, and they're split up into different types. You have a las rifle section. You've got a storm section, which these are basically, as far as I can tell, your veterans. Then you've got a flamer section. And quite interestingly, the Aegis defense line is part of the list under special, which I guess would just be a fortification. And they have dedicated transport. Unlike new codexes, they don't take up force org slot, they are just called dedicated transport. So you've got the Dracosana armoured transport and the Arvis later. They can take trench or sentry hands. And interestingly here you've got a Lehman Russ squadron in the fast attack, but you can only take the regular battle tank, the Exterminator, the Annihilator and the Vanquisher. And quite interestingly they have outflank, which is quite nice. And you can also take Thunderbolts and the Lightning Strike Fighter. The rest of the Lehman Russ tanks, apart from the Punisher, which is not in the book, you have a Demolisher, the Incinerator and the Executioner, and these are in your heavy support. And you can also have artillery, tank, battery, so your Basilisks, Medusas and Bombards are all here, as well as the Malkador and the Malkador Infernus. And you've got the Valdor Tank Hunter and the Cyclops Remote Demolitions Unit, which is a really fun little unit to use. Then we move into your Lords of War, so you've got your Bane Blades, your Storm Lords, then all your Bane Blade variants, Shadow Sword, Storm Sword, Storm Blade, Storm Hammer. And you can also, this is optional heavy support, which I don't know what the difference is between optional heavy support and heavy support, as it's all optional really, but you can take the Phalanx from a Mechanicum and the Castellix class battle automata as well. And then we move into the Questoris Knights Crusade army list. And I have a 4-sword chart, which include HQ troops, elites, fast attack, and heavy support, and you'll find out why right now. So your regular knights can all be given upgrades, which can turn them into a different slot on the 4-sword. Whereas you might be familiar with the Seneschal upgrade, which makes them HQ. There's also a Lord Scion, which is not as good as the Seneschal, but less points. So you've got elites, upgrades, and there's different upgrades which can make them elites, different upgrades which can make them troops, same with fast attack, and of course heavy support. They have their own warlord traits, and of course the knights themselves, and you can also have Archmagos and Dracovac as well to lead the army if you wish. And it says here that you'll have to be the traitor faction if you do, which makes sense. So you got your Knight Paladin, your Knight Errant, your Knight Magera, Styrix, the Knight Lancer, the Castigator, the Acheron, and that is it. And then here you just got your weapon summaries, and that is the end of the book. So like the other books, plenty of fluff, plenty of rules, but there's a lot more missions in here and campaign stuff as well. So if you do have a Horus Heresy army, there's a lot more that you can do with it. And of course, there's no reason why you can't use some of these rules for the missions and campaign in regular 40k. I'd certainly like to try out the character progression rules, I think they're really cool. And the knight list, be very interesting to try one day, once I get hold of some more knights. So, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one.